We're recording in progress. Pilar, welcome back.
Hi, Nikki. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Nice to see you. It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been about what, 10 months, a little bit longer.
Yeah, when was the last time?
Last I spoke to you, you had a little one on the way.
I did. Yes, she was born December 27, 2021, 2020.
So she's a year old yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, everything's okay. What's her name?
Freya.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
was that?
So two boys and one girl now?
Two boys and one girl, yes.
And has that sidetracked you at all from your personal training business?
You know what? She's a good kid. No, like
Yeah.
things are, it's been more, business is good with her. Like this, no, she's good.
A lot of young moms, they'll tell me the boys are harder when they're younger, and then they get a little bit more challenging as they get older. And the girls are a lot easier when they're younger, and as they get older, they get more challenging. What's your theory on that?
So far she's been the easiest, but I think it's because she's the third.
Right.
Wherever we go, she goes. If she skips a nap, she skips a nap, right? But
yeah,
the boys are crazy.
Yeah, you've got two boys. How old are they now?
My oldest will be 8 on the 3rd, January 3rd, so in a week. And then the other one will be 6 in March.
That's crazy when you think about it, because you and I, okay, so if we go back, when did we first meet? Was it 2007?
About right, yeah.
Yeah, 2006, 2007. And that was at Pantheon at the old gym down on Hornby and Smythe downtown.
Yeah. That's
so
a long time ago.
Was that? That's like 14 years ago? Yeah, 14 years ago. That's crazy. You've got 3 kids now.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
3 kids, 2 dogs.
Well, what's funny too is I talked about this. I wrote a blog a few weeks ago, and I said, out of all the trainers I've known in the last 20 years, there's only about maybe 2 or 3 that are still doing it. And you're one of those people.
There's not that many.
If I go back to 2007, I mean, there's not a single one of those people that we used to train on the floor with. I can't think of any of them training anymore. None of them are trainers.
I don't even know if Costa's still training, but I know his sister. I see her every once in a while on social media.
Right. Okay. Angela, right?
Angela, yeah. I think she's still doing some nutrition and stuff, which is awesome.
Right.
So just, maybe just a few people that I remember.
Yeah, that's it. What's funny in this industry, right? People don't last.
No.
It's a very, I compare it to hairdressers and real estate agents. It's a very flaky industry, and only a few survive. What do you attribute your success to?
That's a good question. I think it has to be something with, you gotta love what you do, and you gotta be consistent and kind of pivot with what things come along, and you always have to be recreating yourself in many different ways. And that's what I kind of done in my business. It's always been like different, prenatal, postnatal, spinning classes, boot camp classes. I've kind of come and go with different modalities, but until you just find something that it works, and just stick with it. And so far that's how I've done it. What about you, Nikki?
Well, no, wait, hold on. Before we get to me, I have a question for you. So, we survived the financial crisis. We survived, so far, COVID-19. At any point during any of these little hurdles that we've gone through, I mean, even when the HST tax came in for those 2 years, that was pretty challenging. I don't know about for you, but for us as a company, adding that extra tax was a bit challenging.
Yeah.
Are any of those hurdles getting your way and think, what, screw it, I'm going to pack it in. I got to call it a day and switch careers?
No, you know what? First of all, I love what I do.
Yeah.
Second of all, it's so convenient for me being a mom. Like I'm always at pickups. I'm always at drop-ups. If it's not me, it's my husband. I'm able to take the kids to activities, play dates, everything. I'm there for them. And could I switch it to a different job? Yes, I could if I want to. Could I make more money? Absolutely. Could I quit my job and not be a stay-at-home mom full-time? I don't think I could ever do that. I think I will end up in jail.
But when you first started in this industry, you were working for Fitness World, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Did you have plans to continue? Like, did you say, okay, 20 years from now, I'm still going to be a trainer, or did you want to be something else?
That's a great question. It's never been I've always wanted to be a trainer. I always wanted to, and it's such a flexible job that I can just do what I want. If I want to take 2 weeks off over the Christmas holidays,
I'll
just do it.
Yeah.
People if my schedule doesn't fit with people, there's plenty of other trainers that, might be able to help the people that I can't help, right? So there's plenty of love to go around.
Well, who are you working with primarily now? Do you have a certain demographic that you target? Before I
Primarily
think
right now is prenatal and postnatal.
prenatal. Okay.
Most of it women, most of
Right.
it moms, busy
Okay.
moms. I have the odd husband or the odd male client,
Right.
but it's most of it women.
And you train most of them out of, you have an in-house gym in your actual house, like in the garage, correct?
I've been very
That's
lucky.
pretty cool. Yeah.
I haven't had to shut down doors because
No.
we were able to accommodate.
Sure.
And before the pandemic, we were gonna close everything, and then we say, you know what, let's just open. It's just a completely open space. This is the sweat shack. Is the garage. It's
Yeah.
hardcore. It's minus 15, and there we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how much of your business right now is online?
Um,
Would you say
I'm gonna
percentage
say
wise?
maybe 20%,
20%.
30%. Yeah, it might go up now that with the new restrictions, things might change.
Yeah.
But lucky for me, we do a lot of things at parks where the kids are playing, moms are training. So we're outside most of the time. I tried to bring things inside about maybe 2 months ago, as the winter was was kind of getting here, and I kind of, prepare people to say, okay, it's gonna get cold, it's gonna get wintry.
Yeah.
People want to keep, people are still not comfortable. Some of my demographic is still not comfortable being inside because some of the moms is still, some of them are still not vaccinated themselves because they're not so sure about the vaccine if they're still breastfeeding. And some of their kids are still not vaccinated because of the age. So that kind of puts a little bit of a hesitation of being inside. And you can't keep kids off each other's, space when you are inside. They're going to be on top of each other. So outside is work great for us.
Right. I don't know if you remember, but last year we had a weighted debate, you and I and Brandon Santo.
Yes.
Yeah. And I had asked you a question about, at that point, I believe the gyms were just starting the reopening phase.
Yes.
And I had asked your opinion on that. And I think at the time you had said that you were actually against it. You said the gyms weren't ready to reopen just yet. All kinds of members on top of each other, training each other. And now here we are again, back into our lockdown. Gyms are completely closed again. What's your viewpoint now? Fast forward a year later, we're kind of in the same situation all over again.
I don't know, Nikki. I don't, if the media is telling us the truth,
how often is that though? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's say they're telling us the truth. Okay.
I don't think the gyms are the places where people are getting infected.
Yeah.
And I might be completely wrong. And there might be other sources that we don't know, and the numbers are showing. I think where people are getting infected is in gatherings. And at this point, we're 2 years in. Yeah, 2 years in. Jeez. It's hard for people not have Christmas, not have New Year's. You're talking with somebody who pulled the kids out of school for a full year, and we homeschool for a year.
Oh my God.
And then, you're giving me a little bit of freedom, and now are the schools going to open up again? I don't know.
Yeah,
so
that's got to.
I think before closing the gyms, there should have been some other measures, like 50% or time slots. I don't know. I think it should have been not as abrupt. I think bars, absolutely. If people go out, they get drunk and they lose their sense of safety sometimes, and they start doing stupid things.
Yeah.
But I don't know about gyms. I didn't agree with that.
I agree with you. And it's funny because I had a Q&A last night, and one of the questions were if I thought restrictions were going to ease off as of January 18th, as stated. I don't think they are. No, I think they're going to be extended. I know I saw your comment on my Instagram. I actually think, though I agree with you, show me the data, show me the research that says that there's outbreaks in gyms, especially gyms. I mean, I know you're training at your own home, which is super safe. I mean, it's just you and clients. You're working primarily one-on-one, I imagine, maybe a few small groups. I'm the same way. I'm in a small facility, very much similar to what we used to do at Groundworks, but with only 2 or 3 trainers on the floor, not like 50 trainers on the floor. So we can keep numbers really low. But at the same time, because I'm a gym owner, it's when I say it comes bias for me, like, oh no, this guy just wants to make money. Yeah, of course I want to make money. But at the same time, I want to see the data and the research that shows that these outbreaks are happening in fitness facilities.
Like I understand how, which is very interesting, that they are closing. I'm just going to set up an example. They're closing all the gyms, but they're not closing, for example, kids activities like, I don't know. I'm just going to
swimming.
swimming and things like that. I know it's a different scenario. Is water, molecules fly different, whatever.
Yeah.
But why are we not closing those type of activities? Why are we closing control environments?
Yeah.
If you go to now, hockey and stuff is canceled, right?
Right.
But how are you telling me that I can go to a hockey game with, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people, but I can have, my usual, 5, 6 girlfriends at my place and their kids, which
Sure.
we're at school together, we're at activities together, we're always together.
Yeah.
And I know,
like your own little bubble.
Yeah. So it's I don't know. I think they're just going with like, oh, let's try this and see if numbers change. And unfortunately, I think numbers are going to continue to rise. But, hospitalization is down. Deaths are at low, which is very, comforting. So I don't know if gyms are the right answer. Unfortunately.
I know that you're still open for business, but have you had any clients say, hey, Pilar, I'm going to take a few weeks off just to see how this new variant plays out?
Yes, I have.
You have? Okay.
I have, yeah. I've had, I don't know, maybe a handful, maybe 5 people that, you know what, we're going to step back. We're going to see how things go. And it's completely understandable.
Sure. I'm more concerned about, I'm definitely concerned about the physical component and not being able to exercise and work out, especially, we're in Vancouver. It's I know where you are right now, there's tons of snow, but even in the city where I am, lots of snow. So it's not like you can go out to the park and do push-ups and sit-ups and do your TRX on the tree. It's pretty cold outside right now.
Such a baby.
I'm a baby. I am a baby. I am. I know you're a lot more hardcore than me, but most of my clients are not going to do that. And so the physical component is definitely a concern for me, but I'm actually more concerned about the mental health of a lot of people not being allowed to work out. Since last Wednesdays, when we had to close our doors, I've had, no kidding, at least 50 emails from people telling me that they feel depressed, they feel sad, they don't know what to do, their diet's going to shit because without the gym, they feel like, what's the point? What do you tell people like this right now?
It's so hard to keep that motivation, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people look at you, look at me as fitness professionals as like, how do you do it? How do you get motivated? The last 2 weeks, I've been just hanging out with my family and drinking a lot of Baileys in my coffee. Let me tell you, it is.
This is just water, I swear.
It is cold out there, and it's hard to, it's hard for people but people have to find it somehow, because these are kind of things that are completely out of our control.
Yeah.
And like we were saying, I don't think they're going to be opening gyms. I think is what, January 18 is the.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think if anything, I'm actually concerned that the schools may not go back.
Yeah. So what's the situation going on with schools?
I know that I think Quebec and Ontario, they're considering on postponing the entry back to school.
Okay.
I was just reading, a few of the media posts to January the 10th. So that's postponing a little bit of the entry back to school instead of the 4th.
Right.
And usually BC kind of follows to what Ontario and Quebec are doing, because our numbers are fairly similar. We're less than them. So I don't know. We need schools open.
Well, you homeschooled both of your sons last year.
Mm-hmm, yeah, with my husband.
Are you still homeschooling them this year, or did you put them back in school?
They went back to school in September, and we've been lucky that our school did quite well these past 4 months.
Sure. If schools do plan to reopen, which I think they do right now, are you going to put are your sons going to go to school, or are you going to keep them out for now?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think so far the plan is to, send kids back to school as normal, because they need that. They're social.
Sure.
It's such you can see them thriving when they went back to school. Like, there's so much learning. There's so much social interaction that they don't just get with their, as brothers or with me and my husband. They need school.
It's got to be
other way.
Of course. Yeah. And, it's got to be so hard as a parent. I mean, you and I are both small business owners, and I personally just have to worry about my business. The gym's closed right now. Yeah, that sucks. There's other things I can do. My online business is quite busy. I work with a lot of people around North America, so I'm okay. But if I had 2 or 3 kids like you do, I'd be thinking, okay, what do I do now? What should I put them in school? Should I not put them in school? I mean, you got to make lots of choices. It's just stressing me out thinking about this right now, what you have to think about. Like, never mind the business, but also you got 3 kids now. A lot of pressure.
No, it's just, I just hope that, I don't know. I don't think this is going anywhere, Nikki.
No,
This
no.
is something that is going to continue to, is the new flu season.
Yeah.
And I was talking, I think I was having a conversation with my husband yesterday. It's just like, imagine if every year we tested for the flu or the cold, just like,
Yeah.
just to test how many times a year, our kids are usually sick or we get sick for cold and flus.
Right.
Numbers will be astronomical.
Sure. Yeah.
So if this is something this is the new flu, when are we just gonna forget about it?
Yeah.
At what point is like, what? People are, knock on wood, people are not dying, which that's what we don't want, and people are recovering. And when is this gonna stop? Because this is not a way of living.
No, it's not. And at the same time, I do see, and I'll probably get a lot of hate for this, but I do see the other side, whereas we don't want our hospitals to be overwhelmed right now either.
Oh, I agree.
And that's a major concern. I mean, I have two of my clients are doctors, and they're not necessarily for shutting everything down, but they're like, look, ICU is getting pretty full. We have to be careful here right now. So, for a lot of those people who are these COVID conspiracists and saying, this is all make believe, you talk to people on the front line, there's some real shit going on.
It's not a make believe that, the government is trying to track us if you get the vaccine.
Totally.
So ready.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, exactly. And I've had a lot of people actually who I've worked with or who are clients who actually dropped me because of, I'm not, if someone's anti-vaxxer or if someone is, they think this is all make believe and they don't believe in this, that's fine. I can still be friends with you. But at the same time, I don't necessarily have to agree with you, right? If you and I have different opinions, I'm still going to be your friend. But there's a lot of people who, I don't know about you, but I got a lot of hateful DMs, especially on social media, from people who are just hating on me because of my viewpoints on this COVID vaccination shot. And, I'm for it personally. I'm for getting society going again. I want the economy open. So whatever it takes to get the economy going again, that's what I want. Right. But I think, we're going backwards right now, in my opinion.
Yes.
I just feel like
backwards. That's where we were last year around this time. Things were also shutting down. I want
to switch to another topic because you mentioned your husband. Your husband's name is Chris, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. I had an interesting question last night. I thought, you'd be a perfect person to ask this question to. So someone was asking me, can you date or be married to somebody who's not in the fitness industry, who's not really into working out and exercising? And I think Chris is pretty active. He likes working out.
Yes.
Correct? Yes. But how do you feel about that? Like, would you be able to date someone who was not really into the gym, not really into exercising, into working on their physique?
I don't think so.
No.
I see it as we're a team, like if I'm having my ups and downs, or if he's having his ups and downs, usually he's like, with my last pregnancy, I've had so many, injuries, and it's not, I'm not 30 something anymore. I'll be turning 43 next year. And I had a baby in my 40s, it's just like, oh, I'm just gonna jump back up. And it's like, oh no, maybe this was too soon, right? He's been my motivator, like, okay, come on, babe, just go slowly. Or if he has a couple of bad days because he couldn't do it because of work or whatever, it's like, okay, no, just get back to it, and we work out together. I think it's good to have that kind of person pushing you to be better, versus somebody, hey, I'm gonna go for a run, I'm gonna go to do a workout, and the person is just on the couch eating chips. I'm like, I would rather be on the couch eating chips, if you ask me. But I know it's not the best decision. So I think I don't think I could.
Does Chris ever ask you for training advice? Like, do you train him?
I give him advice, yes. But if you were to ask him, he'll tell you a story, a time that we were working out at one of the gyms downtown a few times. And, from across the gym, I said, babe, put your elbows down. And, after that, he's like, shush, don't tell me what to do. Because he's already has a lot of knowledge. Like he's, created like a great, fitness, life for him. And he's on it all on his own. But he does ask me, sometimes I'm just like, well, if you were to ask me, this is what I will do.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, sometimes we agree and sometimes we disagree, just with everything.
It's challenging, right? When either a partner or family member asks you for advice, because unless, for me, I never even give advice unless I'm asked. I never give unsolicited advice. Even if I'm at a commercial gym and I see someone doing squats or deadlifts and their form is terrible, I don't say a word. And I'll even in my own gym, sometimes I'll have clients say to me, why aren't you correcting that person? They look like they're going to hurt themselves. I'm like, they're not asking me for my advice. I'm not giving it. Unsolicited advice, not my thing. And when it comes to training partners and family members, I actually don't do it. I won't do it. My parents might ask me for advice, but I'll refer them out. I'll say, maybe go ask this person, because if it comes from me, they just don't take me as seriously. Right?
It's like, oh, it's just Nikki.
Yeah, they don't take me seriously. So I'm like, what's the point of me telling you? I've trained a lot of clients over the years, and now this is how old I am. I'm starting to train their kids. I don't know if you're in that situation now where you're starting to train their kids.
Not yet.
For years, they would be telling their kids, as teenagers, you got to eat your complex carbohydrates, your lean proteins, your healthy fats. And then they would ignore the parents. And then as soon as they come to train me, I tell them the exact same message. Boom, they're doing it. Same thing their parents have been telling them for the last 10 plus years. So it depends on who's delivering the message.
It depends on the messenger completely.
Yeah.
We do find that if we work hard at the gym at the same time, we kind of push each other, and we're very competitive. He's got a competitive stream and me too. So it's like, okay, we kind of like go head to head there at some things.
So what's the plan going forward for your business? What's your plan?
What's my plan? I think just keep doing what I've been doing. It's keeping me afloat, and it's keeping me, it's such a volatile situation right now with closing gyms and things are opening, and that I just gonna stick with what I know that works best to keep my clients safe and keep myself and my family safe, and that's all we can really do. And I think I would say that just as a trainer, you have to be able to pivot and just be, if one-on-one face-to-face is not going to work, start trying some online stuff, contact everybody, do some free stuff, and get your clients, to try Zoom sessions and see if they like it. Do a free trial for a week.
Yeah.
And, maybe some people will be like, yeah, I love it. Let's do it for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And some people might say, you know what, no, this is not for me. You might lose them for a while, but when they open the gyms again, you might get them back.
Have you done any Zoom sessions, like either during this lockdown or the previous lockdown?
I'm still doing a few from the previous lockdown. I have 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 or 4 clients that we never went back to face.
Right. Okay.
Which is do some sessions, out of their, living room, garage, bedroom, whatever the kids allow it, and that's how we make it work.
No, that's great. I think I told you this off camera, but I just couldn't, for me personally, I couldn't get myself behind a Zoom session. I couldn't do it. So my business partner, Megan Williamson, she took over all of the Zoom sessions, and she was really busy. She's still super busy. She loves it though. I think at first she didn't like it, but now she really likes it. I mean, she says, I can work from home, or she says, I don't have to be in the gym. I don't have to, I don't have to be there at a set time. And so for a lot of people, they prefer it.
I like it because I'm just, I usually plan things around, kids are in school, and then I just plan things around Freya's naps.
Yeah.
But there were so many people that as soon as we were able to do face-to-face, I think I opened up my gym, to face-to-face with some clients back in the summer. March, around March when I
reopening phase.
Came out of maternity leave, and they're like, let's do it. Yes, no more Zooms, face-to-face. And some of them, they were just like, you know what? No, we don't want any interest. Let's do classes. Let's just go get outside. So it really depends on it's hard sometimes. It's different to have a Zoom and, things go down and then you can hear, it's like, okay, no, get down. And you're like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting time to see who comes out of this one now too, because I know a lot of gyms, especially downtown, a lot of the businesses ended up just closing up after the first lockdown.
A lot of the gyms as well downtown, yeah.
Yeah, well, Fitness World was a perfect example, right? I think they were called Steve Nash before, and then they filed for bankruptcy and they rebranded themselves as Fitness World again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's not the same gym. And that's a pretty big chain here in BC too. I think they have about at least 9 or 10 locations.
Wow. And it's funny because here at in Ladner, we had a gym called Tactics, which was a CrossFit gym. They shut down. They moved to they moved to a smaller location, and they just couldn't hack it as well.
Yeah.
But we just got a 24/7 fitness, something purple, and they just open 24-hour fitness or something.
Okay.
In the same location that this one shut down. And I don't know how long they're gonna, I don't know. It's pretty big franchises.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long they'll be able to stay open for.
There's going to be a lot of good that comes out of this too, though. I mean, that's what happens when, these things happen in life, right? A lot of people come around and they just pick up. They're just like, okay, well, I mean, now there's an empty gym. I'm going to scoop in and take that gym, take the lease over, and I'm going to start my business during a recession. A lot of people do that.
A lot of people do that. There was another girl who opened up there was another studio called Workout with PJs or something. She closed her gym, and I know she couldn't do it because I got the floor mats from her for my home gym, and she's like, yeah, no, couldn't do it. The pandemic, and somebody just took over the space, and now they just opened a new gym there. So I just really hope that they're able to, because it costs a lot of money to open up a place like that.
Totally. There's plenty of opportunities you made. I don't know if you remember, but do you remember when the financial crisis hit back 2007-8, and you and I were both training, and I was
just starting.
Yeah. And I was super worried. I'm like, man, I'm going to lose a bunch of clients. And, I lost a few, but then because I was a fairly new trainer at that time, so my rates were fairly low. So I actually got a lot of other clients that were inherited from trainers that were more expensive than me. Yeah. So my business actually did really well during that time.
But we're not essential. We are
luxury.
We're one of those things like, going to get a manicure, pedicure, going to see my trainer.
Yeah. So no, but you know what? As bad as times like this are, I always look for the opportunity. Like, okay, well, things are bad right now, but I mean, there's opportunity to be made anywhere. So if you're smart and you're looking around and say, okay, how can I make this a positive situation, turn this negative situation into something positive?
And there's so many people out there that, imagine how many people are right now out there that they, like for example, Peloton. Look how many people jumped on the Peloton wagon a year ago.
Yeah.
And I think one of my clients who does finances or whatever, he was telling me that Peloton stocks, is when everything went back up, they went down like 30% or something,
totally.
Because now, and I can guarantee you that now that everything is shut down, it's going to go back up.
Well, it's a super overvalued stock. I've seen it. It's very overvalued.
I mean, some of my clients do ask me, it's like, oh, should I get a Peloton? I'm like, well, if you have $3,000, available for you, go for it. I will buy something different.
Actually, that's interesting you brought that up, because I had a client email me today and ask me about Peloton, and I want your opinion. What do you think about Peloton?
I think it's a great creation.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's kind of it's a trend, because you can just Google, go on YouTube channels, leg workout, home leg workout, boom. How much did that cost you? You have some weights and you do it. Or, I think the whole being on the computer and somebody telling you, it's got some sort of engagement, right? Because I don't know, I think I would not spend $3,000 on it.
Yeah, it's interesting to me, because at first I was like, oh, whatever, this is another fad. But then once I started talking to some of my clients who use just the cardio machines,
they'll buy idea.
They'll buy the bike, they'll buy the treadmill and say, hey, I can log in anywhere in the world and work with like the best spin instructors in the world. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, that's actually interesting. And then I'm thinking about it. And then when I saw my first actually Peloton, I saw it an actually stationary bike, and I got on and I was trying. I'm like, I could have logged in anywhere in the world and trained with any spin instructor I wanted to. Yep. Sometimes the classes were even live, but they were recorded. And so I'm thinking, why would I go to a spin studio? Now I don't have to. So I can see in 5 years
the value. I can see a lot of value. I don't know if I will ever go into this whole pandemic did change. Like, I only go to places like Costco, London Drugs, put my mask on, gas station if I have to.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Most of my shopping, I do it online.
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know how I will feel to be in a room with another 20, 30 people.
Yeah.
Not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Sweating all over the place.
Yeah.
It makes me anxious. So there's demand for it, and I think it's a genius idea.
Yeah.
Would I pay $3,000 for it? I don't think I would.
No, and I don't think spin studios are going to be around much longer. They're a perfect example. I think they're done.
No.
And I hate saying that because I don't want any business to suffer, but I'm thinking, how are you going to be able to compete? Yeah, like you said, there's the bike or treadmill is whatever it is, $2,500, $3,000. That's a lot of money up front. But I mean, if you're going to spin class for a year, it's what it works out to be half of that, say 2-3 years, you're going to end up paying that in the long run anyway.
Yeah, because how much you pay, like $200 a month?
I don't know. I've never taken a spin class, so I have no idea. You got a calculator?
Yeah.
We're just trainers.
That's $2,400 a year.
Yeah.
Like if you were to, that's how much I used to pay for CrossFit.
Yeah.
When I used to go to the CrossFit gym. It was like $150, $200 a month.
Yeah.
For unlimited classes.
Yeah.
But now, so.
But you know what, Pilar? You know what I don't think can be replaced? Us. Because, and I don't just mean you and me, but I mean good trainers. I don't think that will ever be replaced. You can use any fitness app you want, or there's something different from working in the gym with weights with someone who has experience, like you or I have been doing this for 2 decades. For someone
but you gotta have a program.
Yeah.
You gotta have this is where I started, this is where I'm going. And I always, that's what I always, people tell me, what should I train with you? And my answer is because first of all, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I can see what you're doing right now today, and I can see what our projection is in 4 months from now.
Totally.
If you start with 5 pounds, maybe when we get here, we're going to go with 40 pounds.
Yeah.
And that means that you're going to get stronger. You're going to be doing more things. But when you don't have that knowledge of like, okay, I'm still doing the same program. I'm still doing my 5 pounds. I'm still doing 10 reps. Your body's not going to change. You're not going to get better. You're not going to get stronger.
No.
But you don't have the knowledge to say, okay, do I go from 10 to 20? Or some people do. Some people, they just do it and they're like, okay, I want more. And that's awesome. But, it's nice to have somebody to tell you what to do.
Completely is. I've had people with me training with me for the past 18 years now. They know what to do, but at the end of the day, they kind of don't know what to do. They go to the gym by themselves and they're like, what do I do? Like they're so used to having everything just planned out for them. Yeah. And, that's good for a lot of people to have that, because I know you probably work with a lot of people who are business owners. They're incredibly successful. They don't have time to just go to the gym and figure, okay, what am I training today, and do all this split training. They can afford trainers. And at the end of the day, they're just like, look, I don't care what we're doing. Just make sure that, I want my physique. I want to make sure I'm putting on muscle. I'm losing fat. I'm staying healthy. That's their goal. And that's fine. They're an expert in their field and we're experts in our field. They don't want to know anything about the gym. They don't care. They just want to use us to help guide them through their workouts. And honestly, I mean, I'm not a handyman. If I need something fixed around my house, I don't do it. I call in a professional. I don't care how they fix it. Just fix it.
Fix this.
Just fix the damn thing.
Just fix it.
And I can't tell you, I don't really go to commercial gyms anymore, but the odd time I have, and I know you in the past, when we trained at a gym like Pantheon, which was a commercial gym, we were trainers there. But how often would you see someone sitting there on their cell phone, just texting in between sets for like 10, 15 minutes? They're not training.
No, you're not training.
It's not even close to the training experience you're going to get when you're working with a trainer, like an experienced trainer.
It's completely different.
I got one more question for you before I let you go. Hi.
This is my youngest. I'll be right there.
I love your hair.
I'm hungry.
Okay, go get it.
He's hungry. You're going to have to go.
That's the other thing. Kids go back to school. You know how many times I asked for snacks?
Well, that was actually going to bring me to my last question with you, actually. Diet during COVID. What's your recommendation? Because especially right now during the holidays, one of the questions I got last night was people were saying to me, I don't know what to do with my diet now that I can't exercise as much. What do you recommend to your clients?
Oh God, this is when your diet needs to be the best.
Yeah.
Sadly enough. I mean, don't take me as an example right now.
Yeah, you're right.
But like my clients do ask me, how important is diet? And I'm going to say 80%.
Yeah.
You can just, even when I used to travel and go on vacations,
those days are gone.
Mexico for like 1 or 2 weeks vacation.
Yeah.
We will and train in the little gyms or whatever, do something, but nutrition had to be like on top of things. So otherwise you come back with like 12 pounds, easily. Yeah. So I think this is the times that, you can't exercise much, just get your nutrition on track.
Yeah.
Start doing meal prepping and start doing the best thing you can do. And then eventually gyms will open.
Yeah.
And just, you can have a really good workout at home.
Sure.
Simple.
Yeah.
You can have really, I mean, Nikki, you might have to do like 3,000 squats for actually feeling your legs.
Yeah.
But you can have actually pretty.
It can be done. Yes.
You can do them. You can, fill up a backpack with weights. You can do it.
Yeah.
But it's just that I'm at home. Like I'm on a computer, I'm working from
Yeah.
home, it's always home. So it is tough, and being so cold outside doesn't make it any harder. But this is not going anywhere, guys. So
No.
you either make the changes now or it's gonna be too late.
I'm so happy you said that, because I said the exact same thing on the Q&A last night. I said, now is not the time to get sloppy with your diet. And, you know, I do people's nutritional plans from all time. Sometimes I give them 2, 3, or just 1 cheat meal a week. Took them all away. I said, no cheat meals. I said, there's no reason. Well, for what? What do you need a cheat meal for right now? Holidays are over.
You're not moving. You're not moving.
Yeah, you're not moving. Exactly. So it's now 100% diet. And yes, you're right. You can train at home. Will the workouts be as effective? Probably not. But at the same time, if your diet's in check, you shouldn't, when the gyms reopen, you're not going back to square one, right? You're still ahead of the game.
Just break up a sweat, burn some extra calories.
Yeah.
Just, instead of 2 double Baileys, just do singles.
Is there Bailey's in that coffee right now?
Absolutely, Nikki.
It's great parenting right there.
This is perfect. It's the holidays. It's just been nice to have people home. It's cold outside. It's just.
I just said the holidays are over. You're like, no, holidays are still going.
They're still going until January 1st, right?
Are you working? Are you taking this week off?
Yeah, I took last week off and this week off. So I'm still, no, I'm lying. I did, I'm still doing a few some sessions, some clients, but just, very, very little.
Right.
Because some people are just at home with the kids doing nothing. So I kind of offer it and say, okay, these are the times available. So, again, I'm home. Kids are watching a movie right now, or they're outside playing in the snow. So it's fairly convenient. There we go. That's the reason why I love my job.
So that means I
get to take my kids to work if I have to.
So it's true, because your work is just downstairs in the garage.
It's just perfect. And even when I go teach a class, if they can't go to school, whatever, they stay in the car watching a movie.
Yeah. For
45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm right there at the park. It's a very convenient.
You got the perfect job. You got the perfect job. Perfect life. Which means with all this free time that you do have, I can bring you on for a weighted debate again.
Anytime, Nikki.
You're game. Yeah, you're always game for this stuff. I'm
like
this
stuff,
game
right? For this.
You should start your own little YouTube channel as well.
I'm not good. And you're the one that asks the questions, and I'll just answer them.
No, I would just want to pick your brain. You're very knowledgeable. You've been doing this as long as I have. You're probably more knowledgeable than I am in a lot of these areas. And especially when it comes to, if you're looking to work with someone who specializes in prenatal or postnatal, Pilar's your person, not necessarily me, right? I mean, someone who's done it 3 times, no kids here, none. So I would send them to you. You're the specialist there.
He's never done it.
This conversation makes me uncomfortable. On that note, I'll let you get to your kids, because I know you got a busy day ahead. But thank you so much.
I really hope that the gyms open up, and if there is to be some sort of different restrictions, so they're open up and in a safe way. Yeah, that'll be fantastic.
Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, we're not trying to come. I know, because we both share that we don't think that the same idea that they're not going to open, and we're not trying to be negative. We're just trying to be realistic here and think, well, it's happened before, so who's to say it's going to not happen again?
How long were they closed the first time for?
Oh, I think they were closed for at least 3 or 4 months.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Yes, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, I agree with you. I think it's going to be another 3 or 4 months. But hopefully we're wrong, and we can come back in a month from now and say, look, we were wrong. Gyms are reopened again. Great.
I don't know, Nikki.
We'll see. Pilar, thank you so much.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you as well. Awesome. We'll get you back on for a weighted debate in the next few weeks.
You got it.
Thanks, Pilar.
Bye.